Hi everyone, I know it's been a minute since I last posted on my YouTube channel, so I'm so grateful you're here. This is my first video for the Scrappy Tails Crafts design team, and I'll be showing you how I made this beautiful sunflower vellum card using the Layering Sunflowers die set. I am so privileged to be part of such a talented team. So today, I'll show you how I colored and put together this sunflower card using vellum and water-based markers. This is one of the flowers I made off camera. You can see how soft and delicate it is, and it's surprisingly easy to color. This sunflower layering set from Scrappy Tails comes with several dies that can make 3 sunflowers. It also comes with a couple of leaf dies as well. I am using this thin piece of vellum. I actually ran out of the thicker ones, but you will see how this can work too. Off camera, I cut one set of the sunflowers, a base layer and a top layer of petals. The center one I cut out of parchment paper as I wanted it to be a little more opaque than the vellum. I will use Zig Clean Color Brush markers to color the sunflowers: scarlet red, bright yellow, and lemon yellow. First, I'll take the lemon yellow marker to color the top layer of petals. I turn it to the back side and just scribble in the color at the tips of each petal. At this point, I'm just scribbling. I'm not being too concerned about making it nice and perfect, as this is just the first layer of color. Next, I take the bright yellow marker and at the base of each petal, I use small flicking motions with the tip of the brush. I use very light hand here, using the very tip of the marker to add the detail. If you're not so confident in doing this, you can practice on a piece of paper beforehand. Remember, we are coloring the back side, so any imperfections on coloring does get muted a little when you turn it to the other side. After the bright yellow, I take the scarlet red marker and create even smaller lines at the base of each petal. I use the same flicking motion. This marker is not really red per se, it's more like a dark orange, which is perfect to add depth to the inner parts of the petals. I'm also using a downward flicking motion instead of an upward motion. Do what feels comfortable for you. I can do both, so I shift from one to the other. You can actually stop here as the flicks of color does give it texture to the petals, but I like to add more blending. To do this, I take the bright yellow marker and lightly blend the dark and light orange together. Then I finish it off by taking the lemon yellow markers and blending that as well at the tips. I sometimes scribble my marker off on a silicone mat just to remove some of the darker color that contaminated the tip. I apologize that my camera just shut off while I was filming the coloring of the base layer, but I pretty much did the same thing as with the top petal layer. What I really like about the silicone craft mat is that it's so easy to clean up water-based mediums. I just spray with water, wipe with a paper towel, and then I'm off to color something else. Now for the leaves. For the base color, I am using mid-green, which is like a light olive green. The leaves are also die cut out of parchment, but you can use vellum too. After coloring the whole leaf, I bring in olive green and start tracing the veins of the leaves with the tip of the marker. Then I scribble a little on the base of the leaf and the middle vein moving outward. Then I blend it all again with the mid-green marker. For the center of the flowers, I will use two markers, light brown and dark oatmeal. First, I'll color the whole die cut with light brown marker. Then I'll use the dark oatmeal marker to add a darker detail at the edges. Then blend it again with a light brown marker. I avoid coloring the center part so it creates a highlight at the center of the flowers. I am using liquid glue to adhere the layers together. I add a swirl of glue to the base, then add the top layer. Then I add another swirl of glue to the middle of the top layer to add the center. I added additional glue to the edges just to make sure it stays flat. Then using my nails, I carefully curve the petals upwards to give the flowers a 3D effect. For the background of the card, I took the wood grain slimline cover die and used it to die cut a panel. This wood grain die, which is actually for a slimline, can also be used to fit an A2 size card panel. The wood grain cuts into several pieces, and that's what I like about this die. It makes it more versatile. I take one edge and apply a generous amount of glue to the back before adhering it. Then I take the other edge and adhere that as well. Then I added the two middle pieces, leaving a small gap between so as to fill up the whole card front. I also added a thin 1/8 inch frame to give it a finished edge. Now it's time for me to arrange and adhere the flowers to the card front. I add a bead of glue to the back of each flower and carefully place it down on the panel. Using liquid glue allows me to move things around before it becomes permanent. Next, I arrange the leaves around the sunflowers. I make sure that each flower has at least 1 or 2 leaves. Then I adhere the sentiment propped up with foam tape. The sentiment, "If friends were sunflowers, I'd pick you," is from the Wild Sunflower stamp set. I finished off the card with yellow flat back pearls. Then I used a Nuvo shimmer pen for that extra shimmer and shine. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial and learned something new today, or are inspired to give it a try. If you're interested in any of the supplies I used in this video, I have them linked below. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more card making and paper crafting tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye!